Welcome back to the Informed Voter Series. I am Matthew Coleman. I'm here today with Carolyn Ingram, the former principal at Yates Primary, and as we've discussed, the only principal at Yates Primary. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what position you're running for.
I came to Cleveland about 30 years ago and came as the principal at Blythe, which was then the old Blythe, and I was there for 3 years. And then when Dr. Yates decided that we needed another school on the other side of town, and one that was for a little bit of different kind of program, a K through 2 program rather than a K-5 or a K-6. So with all my background in early childhood, he asked me if I would go there as principal. And it's been a wonderful journey, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I came from Glade Spring, Virginia. That's where I was born and reared. Then I came to Tennessee Wesleyan College. Got my bachelor's degree there, went to Tennessee Tech, got my master's, and then I went to Cumberland State and got my EDS. So have quite a bit of education from those 3 schools. And I'm running for District 1, Cleveland City School Board.
Let's talk about what encompasses District 1.
District 1 is a little bit of a different kind of district. It's cut up a little bit. It's part of Georgetown Road, Peerless Road, down part of Keith, and then goes over into the Blythe-Bower, South Cleveland area.
Now, would your students there at Yates fall within that district?
No, they would not. Most of the students at Yates fall within the District 3 and 4.
Okay.
So I will not have any of the students, maybe some grandparents, but no students because of the way the districts run, and children have to go to school in the district in which they live.
Now you're challenging George Meacham.
Yes, Mr. Meacham.
For this district, and tell us a little bit about why you're running for this position, and distinguish yourself a little bit from Mr. Meacham.
Well, having been in education for 45 years, I feel like that I have a strong knowledge of education and what is needed, and some of the things, best practices for teachers, for children, for parents. And I just feel like that I'm more current maybe on some of the issues than Mr. Meacham might be. I think it's been a while since he was in education, so I just think that I have a current background of the issues, things that come up, I read a lot about what's going on in the current events of education. So I feel like that I have a current knowledge of what's happening in education.
Now, in your role as principal at Yates, did you have interaction with the school board on a regular basis?
I was at every school board meeting, first Monday of every month. I don't think I've missed very many meetings the whole time I've been there. And then we have the school board into our building at least once a year to have, they have lunch with us and visit the rooms, and then I see them at different meetings throughout the city when they are there for, various and sundry reasons.
It's been an interesting couple of months for the city school board.
Yes, it has.
I think they narrowed the candidates to 2 in May, and recently announced Dr. Dyer to start July 1.
Yes. We were, all of the principals and supervisors met for a couple of hours with Dr. Dyer back in, I guess it was in April, and I'm very impressed with him. I think he's going to do us a great job. He's fairly young, has a lot of enthusiasm, and he too is very, very knowledgeable about what is happening in education these days.
Let's talk about what you think are the 2 most important issues facing the school board and the education in our community today.
Well, I think one of the most important things that we've got to deal with, especially on the other end of the system, is building the new school. Right now, Yates Primary is absolutely bursting at the seams, and so I think it's getting that new building is going to be a very, very important thing for us. And that, of course, includes funding and how it's going to be funded and what's going to how we're going to move into it. We'll probably have to do some rezoning, and so there are going to be a lot of issues that we look at with building a new school. And I feel that because I was in on the groundwork with Yates Primary, I think I will have some input there, or have some knowledge of what it takes to start a school, the different things that teachers want, and the things that are good for them. So I feel that that will be an area that I can really work with and have some knowledge of is the new school and all of the things that go with that. Another issue that I really, and I'm not sure how we can go about it, but I want us to look at how we can get parents more involved. When I went to Yates 24 years ago, we had so many of our parents who were involved and came and volunteered at the schools, and I see that has waned quite a bit. And I just think that's a major issue for schools. And if we as a school board could do something to involve parents and to get them coming to school, having conferences with the teachers. If they feel like that Johnny is not doing what he ought to do academically, we need to get those parents in and get them involved as early as kindergarten and first grade.
With regard to your funding issue, I think everyone would say that there needs to be more funding for public education.
Yes, most assuredly.
How would you see and how would you assist with that as a school board member with regard to the funding without causing too much strain on the community or tax dollar issues for those concerned about it?
Well, I think as we look at the building that will be built, as we look at the things that have to go into it, I think we're going to have to realize what we need, and sometimes like in many other things, we might overspend or do things that buy things that we shouldn't buy. But I think we've got to get teachers involved so that we know what they want and what they need, rather than what we think might be best from the school board standpoint. So I'm hoping that they will be involved in selecting things that they need, and I know funding is a major problem, and so if we can get our parents on board and our teachers on board, I think that can help a lot with looking at what we need, the needs of the building.
To address the issue of family involvement and maybe community involvement, I know that the school boards recently had some discussions with the public about curriculum, social studies in particular, and other issues. What do you see the role of the school board in those curriculum issues? Well,
definitely the school board needs to be aware of what the curriculum is. They need to be aware of what's in the textbooks as they look at textbooks and think what their children or their grandchildren or whomever is reading and what teachers are teaching. I was on the textbook commission for the state for 6 years, and I know the importance of what it is to have input from the community, from the school board, from those parents, and that is made available if those people will look at it and see what's being offered, and it's very important, and especially as you said in social studies and I think even science now. Also technology, of course. We're just what's good today in technology may not be next week, and so I think we have to just keep abreast of what's going on in curriculum.
Another hot topic issue is always Common Core. Where do you see the school board's role with that?
Well, Tennessee is not doing exactly Common Core. That was passed, of course. That was a national endeavor, and Tennessee began to look at the standards or what Common Core was going to require. So we really have set up our own standards. Tennessee state standards is what we use. Now, they used some of the language and some of the things that was included in Common Core, but actually, as far as Common Core itself, Tennessee has their own standards, and it's called Tennessee State Standards rather than the Common Core standards.
Okay. And do you think that we should continue to stay on that roll?
Oh, definitely. I think for us to, and as I've taught for 18 years before I became a principal, I have seen it become so important that teachers need to know what they have to teach. And so I think that we need to have the people in Nashville who set up the standards, along with, of course, teachers across the state. But I definitely think we've got to stick with the standards and make sure that the teachers are teaching those, because sometimes if you go off on a tangent and you don't know really what's out there, then you have a tendency to not really teach what is expected and the things that children need to know.
Ms. Ingram, we talked a lot about your education and things of that nature, but tell us a little bit about you and your personal life and your family.
Okay. I have two sons, Mark and Matt, and Matt, was a teacher at Ardle Memorial for 8 or 9 years, and come August he's going to the middle school to work as one of the assistant principals, and so I'm thrilled with him that he started out on a career of hopefully at some time becoming a principal. And then I have Mark, who's self-employed, and I'm married to Jerry Frenetza, who is the construction manager for Habitat. Jerry and I have been married about 5 years, and so we enjoy lots of things, all of the sports that we can get to, and then we work together quite a bit on Habitat. I'm a member of the board of Habitat. I'm secretary and a member of the Family Selection Committee, which I've enjoyed very, very much. And I'm very interested and very active at Broad Street United Methodist Church. I serve on several committees. I teach a Sunday school class. I'm now currently chairperson of the Pastor Parish Committee, which is an awesome responsibility. And I enjoy reading. I enjoy walking. I walk every morning at 4:30 for 3 miles. I've been doing it many, many years. And so that's just part of my life is walking at the track. So I love my grandchildren. I have 3 grandchildren, and that's one of the things I'm looking forward to doing is spending time, spending time with them. If people want to find out more about you, where can they go? Goodness, they can go online. There's not such a website, but if they wanted to find out all about my background and what I've done over the years, you can find that online. And
do you have a Facebook site or something of that nature?
I do not have a Facebook. I haven't had time, but I'm going to set up one as soon as I finish, as soon as I get through at school. My term is up at Yates July 1, so I'm hurrying very much to get everything packed up and get out by that date.
It's exciting, exciting. Thank you so much for coming and
Thank
meeting with me today. It's been a wonderful experience.
Enjoyed it. Enjoyed it very much.